In 2020, the world was in dire need of a laugh. Fortunately, Matt Stone and Trey Parker made us laugh in the times of chaos and panic. Let's dive into the South Park post-COVID specials. From the pandemic special to the post-COVID special, this is a wild ride, so sit back, grab your snacky cakes and cheesy poofs, and let's jump right into it. In 2020, the entire world was shut down due to COVID. People were dying and losing their jobs. The world was in a gloomy state. Luckily, just 7 months into the pandemic, Matt Stone and Trey Parker graced our televisions with the pandemic special. Initially, the pandemic special was planned as a standalone episode. Matt and Trey had not planned on making 2 more follow-ups. The show's first COVID-focused episode/special was released on Max in season 24, with the episode being the only one in the season other than the vaccination special. The reason I bring up Max is that the post-COVID special was released on Paramount Plus while the other 2 were released on Max. This is because some sneaky loophole Matt and Trey used. I don't really know much about it, so go check out Dan Morell's video if you want to learn more on it. But without further ado, let's take a look at the first special in the COVID trilogy. At the start of the episode, Randy starts by giving a speech to the town, presenting himself as the hero who's going to help the town.
Price. Not only that, but when you buy 3 pounds or more of the pandemic special, you get a complimentary Pandemic 2020 bong. We are a community. Let's all be together with tech.
But let's be real, this isn't about helping anyone. Randy's speech is all ego. He is not addressing the pandemic seriousness or how people are struggling. He's pitching a weed strain like it's a public service. In his mind, he's the star who will save the day. Although luckily, Sharon calls him out on this almost immediately.
A pandemic special, Randy?
But unlucky for us that Randy doubles down and does not get that he's just doing this for himself. Meanwhile, the school is sent home to do remote schooling. Now, most of the students hate this except for Cartman. He loves being alone and does not want to talk to anybody. This is the point where he sings one of the best songs, in my opinion, of South Park history. On the other hand, Stan, Butters, Kyle, and Kenny hated every second of it. Stan especially struggled, spiraling into madness by the end, but we'll get to that later. He tries to hide his breakdown from his friends, making excuses like blaming Butters' absence, but his facade cracks as his frustration boils over. Although luckily for Stan, he might have a chance of going back to school. Although this news comes on the heels of reports of scientists finally being able to find the vaccine. The news says that these scientists have pinpointed the disease back to a bat in China. The only question they have is, how did this disease from a bat get to humans?
You gotta try. Go ahead, take a turn.
After this realization, Randy calls Mickey Mouse to tell him his little discovery.
You started all this.
After calling Mickey, he sits back down in the TV room for the news to report that it actually wasn't a bat that was the main cause. It was a pangolin. Then he has another flashback, which I won't show, and then he realizes what he must do. He must steal the pangolin from the research lab. While this is going on, the boys are finally able to head back to school. Everybody is stoked and really just happy, except for Cartman, who let's just say is reluctant to go back to school. Oh, and Token gets shot by the police. After getting shot by the teacher cops, the mayor and teachers of South Park blame Tolkien's hospitalization on COVID, not wanting to take responsibility for their own actions. This does not bode well on Stan, as they have to stay in the school for an indefinite amount of time until they can get everything sorted out. Meanwhile, Randy sneaks into the research lab and steals the pangolin. After stealing the pangolin, Randy realizes that he can add something extra to his pandemic special to convince people to get vaccinated. In his mind, he thinks that this special ingredient will make people healthier. But of course, it's Randy, so his idea is more about boosting his own success than actually helping. We then cut to Jimbo lying in bed sick with COVID when he sees something out of the corner of his eye. It's Death breaking in through the window? No. It's Randy coming to give him some of the good old pandemic special.
No, it's okay, just breathe.
After Randy's little night out, he is awoken by Sharon needing the keys to go to the hospital, as Jimbo's been cured. Once Randy realizes it worked, he starts adding his special ingredients to all of the pandemic specials.
Oh boy.
We then cut back to the school, where the kids call upon Mr. Garrison, aka Trump, for help.
Listen, we're being kept at the school, and one of the students here is really sick.
Oh, for Pete's sake, here we go again. Just deal with it. I am busy.
After the president's refusal to help, we cut back to Randy giving out his pandemic special to all the adults in town.
Okay, there you go. That's all I can tell you right now. Just make sure you smoke it, okay? Enjoy the special.
After this, we learn that Randy's special gave the entire town mustaches. Or as Sharon likes to say, mustache. We then cut back to the school where Stan is rallying all the kids to help Butters sneak out and go build a bear. I forgot to mention this, but there's like this whole side plot where like Stan is trying to blame Butters. There's probably a clip that sums it up, so if I find one, I'll play it now, but you know.
No, I'm fine, Mom. You know, I'm strong. I'm just worried about how this is all affecting weaker kids, like, you know, like Butters.
After breaking out, the news learns of the kids escaping and sends the entire town into a panic. I mean, Steven Stotch even slaps Craig's mom, which, does she have a name? I don't know. With all this chaos and no way to get the kids back, the mayor allows bigger and better, like, artillery to the teacher/cops of South Park so they can get the kids back.
I don't know what you're gonna do, Mayor. You took all our funding away. You said our equipment was too extreme. Now, if we had some of that stuff back...
Yeah.
After arriving at Build-A-Bear, the kids learn it's shut down. But does this stop Stan from breaking into the store and building a bear for Butters?
Oh, hell no!
After Stan severely traumatizes Butters with his, bear-making skills, the police show up to the Build-A-Bear shop and they shut it down, let's say. Then Randy comes in and gives them the pangolin, and all seems to be good until he shows up.
Now we have hope. We've learned that we might never get back to our old lives, but by working together, we just might find a new way to...
Don't forget to get out and vote, everybody. Big election coming up.
I don't think I mentioned this, but he doesn't want to stop the pandemic because it's kind of helping his campaign, so that's why he killed the pangolin. I would say this was a pretty good special overall. I would even go as far to say that it gets...
He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!